What's up, Eugene? You're listening to the Eugene Morning Hustle podcast brought to you by the Eugene Area Chamber of Commerce. We're your hosts, Brandon Miller and Ivan Torres, and like us, we know you'd like to know what's going on in your city, socially, economically, civically, and culturally. From events to guest interviews and professional and personal development tips, each week we bring you stories of local business owners, advocates, leaders, and everyday Eugenians sharing how they've strengthened their roots to reach a little deeper in our community and how you can too. Welcome to today's interview. Today we've got Ariel Lissman from the Eugene Parks Foundation, who's going to share with us a little bit about a vision.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Very excited to be here.
So tell us a little bit about what the Eugene Parks Foundation is.
We build exceptional parks across the city. When I say parks, I mean trails, parks, playgrounds, and amenities, recreational amenities across the city everywhere. And that's the goal. The way we do it is partnering with the city on one end, because the city is the groundkeeper of everywhere.
Yep.
But on the other hand, we invite private investors and individuals and foundations to put private money and to build a bigger exceptional park. So the Exceptional Parks vision has a very specific recipe that kind of distinct it from the average municipal parks experience that not just Eugene, every city around the world. On average, you'll see an open space and a structure and some kids playing, and that will be the local service for an outdoor experience. Then an exceptional park will be accessible geographically and demographically. There's a golden rule that says that a park will be used if it is in 10 to 15 minute walking distance and quarter to half a mile away from your doorstep. And so when we talk about a vision for an exceptional park system, we're talking about plugging these exceptional parks in 10 to 15 minutes away from every doorstep in Eugene. Currently, there's gaps in the system, right? Yeah. And the city is doing amazing work with the Parks Bond and the levy to catch up. But the growing needs of the community will always outplay the public funding, and this is where the foundation comes in. So number one is accessible geographically, but also being able to host different physical and mental limitations so all our community members can be invited to this outdoor experience. The second one is exceptional infrastructure. So the infrastructure should be exceptional, should be top-notch, inviting you to engage and then engage again and repeat, because that repetitiveness is kind of crucial to developing this healthy lifestyle that we're all interested in.
Right.
The next one is weaving in a story into the outdoor experience. And my God, there's so many stories in Eugene that are ready to be told.
Yeah.
And there's no better stage to tell that story other than a park. I mean, just thinking about two of them, timber. Timber is such a huge part of our DNA here in Eugene, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Timber built the city. Timber built our economy, touched almost every family in Eugene. Yeah. How do we take that story and weave it into timber-based themed park,
right? Yeah.
So people can connect with their own history? How do you tell the Tracktown USA story, right?
Sure, yeah.
Which is it shouldn't be, and I hope it's not, but a U of O story, but it's a Eugene story. Yeah. So does a kid in Bethel or Santa Clara do they know they're living in Tracktown, USA.
Right.
Yeah.
It's only one city in the States that is Tracktown, USA. And what does it mean? And how do they connect to that? As family, kids, and adults. And so can we create replica of Hayward Field and put it in on a barren land so kids can grow into this and put some images of our iconic leaders and from
Right.
So that's weaving a story into the experience. The next part of that recipe is double down on art. I don't know, what was the last park that you went to, last outdoor experience that you went to and came back and you wanted to tell everybody about that experience?
Is it Skinner's Butte, the one that has the lookout?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was
Epic. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Spencer Butte is one that I've been to.
Traveling
I would
around
say,
the
yeah,
world,
yeah.
other places that come to mind that are iconic. That kind of experience that we all have that on a road trip or a family trip. You came back and that was amazing. Most times it will involve some art in it because the magic of art is that it hits all sensors, not just your physical experience, whatever that is that you're doing there, but get you thinking, it gets you excited.
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you incorporate art into public spaces and into that experience? And I tell you that, I mean, I've built enough parks in my life. Once you go into a park that is so artistically designed,
Yeah.
you never go back to another park. I mean, it's a new level. It's a new level. And our job is to raise the bar when we can. Raise the bar and let people experience more than they thought is available to them.
Yeah.
One other component to that exceptional park vision is programming. Consistent, intensive programming in the parks. So, not to regress, but one of the challenges is always public safety, right?
Oh, sure.
Public safety.
Yeah.
And one of the ways to mitigate that public safety is just by increasing normalized behavior, positive, productive behavior in a park. That will just the law of physics. I mean, and then adverse behavior diminish, and they, whoever that is, walk away and do their shenanigans somewhere else. And so if we can put 500 bodies in a park, you don't want to mess around with that, right?
Yeah.
With all the deaths there. So you walk away. And that's how you increase public safety. You do it by building exceptional parks, exceptional experience that attract the masses in. And the last one, I think that's the last one, is diversifying what we have to offer. So if you have a 2-year-old, if you have a 4-year-old, if you have a 6-year-old, you're probably fine. You'll find a local park and, they'll crawl, they'll jump, they'll slide, they'll swing. What happens when you're 16?
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens when you're 26?
Sure.
What happens when you're 46? Are parks still relevant to where you are in life? So if you diversify the amenities, and you build a pump track or a mountain bike park and a ninja course park and pickleball court,
Yeah.
of course.
I read about that ninja course, by the way. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And you put that strategically next to a high school and a middle school. Suddenly you have students using it all morning through their PE, and then the community come in the afternoon and uses, in abundance.
Yeah.
And then you have full traffic in a park because you have exceptional amenity and you have exceptional experience, and it appeals to many group age.
Wow.
I think that's interesting. I was thinking about that ninja course because that was something I just read and it was fresh on my mind. But I also read that you're working on, and maybe it's already under construction or something, but having like a fitness, like a we're talking like strength training and all that kind of stuff at these parks. Is that something that's happening?
It's funny because fitness stations. I don't know if you can tell from my dashing accent. I'm from Israel. In Israel, fitness stations is just a given. It's on every street corner, and hundreds and thousands are using it every day. But it's considered to be a warm country amenity.
Okay.
During COVID, when all the gyms got closed, people went outside.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they started installing these fitness stations in colder and wetter countries, like Canada, Germany, Europe. So it's suddenly it's a thing, which I know that it's magic. It's really magic. It's not just the activity, but the dynamic that happens around it, the walking path, and then you sit on the bench and you have conversation. It's a whole thing. It's a whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
And so we started with building a plan for installing a system of fitness stations all around Eugene. We start always in underserved areas. I'm not talking demographically, but geographically, when there is no access to a public park.
Sure.
So we developed that plan, but as we were moving forward, we got a kind of an elbow, like, yeah, but what about young adults? What about 20-year-old? What about, right? Where's this? And so the plan is to diversify the fitness station system to be ninja course or fitness station for the more senior citizen, kind of, friendly. And so the first one hopefully will be up in Ascot Park, the fitness stations. And if we're lucky and we'll be able to collaborate with the school district, then maybe we'll put one ninja course and one fitness station, so the middle schoolers can with Monroe Middle School over there.
Okay.
Wow. So we are very excited about that. It's just a sustainable amenity. I mean, maintenance is easy and it stays long, and it's just the programming around it. And it's a funny story. When we installed our first fitness station in Israel, we were very excited. It was new for us, and people just walked to this, bypassed, and moved. They didn't know how to. They didn't know how to interact with it.
Wow.
I don't want to push too hard. I'll get a heart attack on the thing. It was scary, and so we put instructors from 6 a.m. to 8 when when the senior citizens, they take their walk at 6 a.m. And they engaged with them. And then we put another instructor from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to work with the kids and the families that are playing in the park. And then again at 8 p.m. after you put your kids to bed and you have some me time, you go out and then you work with parents. And it took us like a few weeks, and people started embracing it.
Yeah.
So it's the amenity, but it's also the programming and teaching you how to engage with that in a wise way, in a way that will support you.
So were the trainers just a temporary, kind of just teach them how to do it, and then?
Yeah, you take a gym, someone who works at a gym, and just you there, you
Show them how.
Yeah, and for how long, and it's free. And that's the thing. It's free. Everyone can use it.
Yeah.
And if there's something that is very important for us at EPF, is that we remove financial barriers and preventing people to access an exceptional outdoor experience. Wow. How about that?
That's really, really neat. I mean, it's really, it's very. I mean, it's planned out. Very strategic. That's what I was.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things about this is that when you were talking about diversification of amenities, of experiences, that when a lot of us think of just a city park, swings and a merry-go-round and a slide, and it's for families and kids. But what you're saying is that it's for everybody.
It's for everybody.
Everybody.
it's for everybody. And actually, one more thing on our menu is installing nature-based park.
Okay.
So moving away from your familiar plastic metal structures, a pirate ship, this or that, a rocket, right? And going back to playing with boulders and tree stumps and water creeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you can look. There are amazing examples around the world of municipalities that embrace that idea and bringing nature into the urban setting and allowing people to experience that. And what we found is that, I grew up on a swing and a slide like everybody else, right? But there's restrictions there, right? I mean, just, this is what you do.
Yeah,
You do this,
right.
or you do this, and that's it. When you're in nature, anything goes. It can be a castle, it could be, and when and a lot of my professional experience is experiencing it through my girls, my daughters, and after 40 minutes in the park, they're like, we're done.
Wow.
But up on Hendrix, they'll just disappear for 3 hours. And we know that. We know that where we're going out there, the kids are just, hours.
It's an exceptional part.
So, and so how do you prolong? Because that's what we want. How do you prolong that experience? You do it by removing that, inviting them to a more open-ended experience that they can create whatever they want. And so the first one, again, will be hopefully in Peterson Park, the first nature-based playground.
Wow.
And we're very excited. And I have no doubt that, once people see that,
it's
they're
gonna
like,
attract.
hey, can you put one here, over here?
Wow.
Which is exactly what we want. We want to kind of stir that appetite for people to feel they deserve more.
Absolutely.
Because we deserve more.
I think you're also talking about embracing imagination as well.
Exactly.
Right? When you're bringing in nature, especially into these urban settings, that just like when we were all kids.
Spot on.
Imagination, we were imagination,
creativity, and curiosity.
Right, exactly.
That are the three drivers. So, and nature-based playground is exactly that. But if you have to get into the car and drive 40 minutes, but if it's there, right? And we have so much research by now talking about the health impact of exceptional parks. Stress reduction, mortality rate, ADHD, depression, obesity. We're talking high percentage of impact just by living close to an exceptional park.
Wow.
And this is why installing it strategically in every place that it will be accessible, that is crucial.
Now, I imagine that you already have it kind of mapped out where the spaces are that need service, they need attention, right?
Yeah.
Are any residents, any Eugenians reaching out and saying, hey, we would love to have a park in this section right here? Is that something where you're like, well, we already know about that, or you're like, like surprised that you're getting those inquiries?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I am very happy when it happens because we are, as an organization, we are growing out of our anonymity. And because if you ask the average Eugenian, the City of Eugene is in charge of parks and recreation, which they are, and they're doing amazing work. So, but they don't know how we, get into this. And so we are working with the city on the way we got that all mapped out is actually we tapped into the city's 30-year master plan.
Oh, okay.
There's a master plan.
Okay.
There's a lot of work to be done. And we looked at the list and we went down the list, took the things down there that will never be built at this rate, with this budget, and so, right?
Yeah.
And say, okay, let's take that let's spread them where we're missing,
Mhm.
and let's double down again on exceptional amenity, on the art, and let's do it. Bethel, they don't need another playground. They need an exceptional playground.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They need the best playground.
Mhm.
They're second to none. Santa Clara, North Eugene, it doesn't matter. Everywhere you should have that, glorified experience right there. And you're like, I'm happy to live here. I'm happy to be in Bethel. I'm happy to be in Santa Clara. We have an awesome spray play. We have an awesome pump track. I mean,
right.
it's here. It's right there. And then suddenly you see circulation of users.
Mhm.
My girls like, hey, let's go to... Then we're driving to Santa Clara. Why should we drive to Santa Clara today? There's no reason for me to end up in Santa Clara today. I'm not living there. So, right? But if there's an awesome experience, suddenly we're going there.
Sure.
And they're coming to Alton Baker. And then there's suddenly an organic diversity happening because of parks.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Probably
I really love the idea of infusing art and storytelling into this, because I feel like that's something that you don't think about when you're at a park. And I feel like that's something that even just now just kind of opened my eyes, where I'm like, maybe I need to pay attention a little bit more, and see what's already out there. What are some ways that you're bringing in art and storytelling into the parks?
And so our approach is, this is something that we're doing right now in collaboration with the city. We're calling artists. We're not going to pretend that we know better. There are local artists,
Right.
even neighborhood locally artists that have the DNA, they understand the vibe, and they can contribute. So we're going to allow them to either do the work, or even better, work with community members together on, if we're doing a spray play, and we're building the spray play in Santa Clara, and constructions are on the way as we speak, and artists will come and work with the community on building this story and the art with them. So for us, it's more of opening an invitation and see what's coming. We don't want to predetermine what this is. I really, I love art, and art is very specific and it's very subjective, right? It's very personal.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'm less of a fan of this, huge statues, installments that have no or little connection to the setting. But if the community is building it with the local artists, then it should be a home run. We launched our first capital project a year ago, that has 5 fitness stations, 2 spray plays, and 1 nature-based park, and a dream, not just a dream, but a plan to build tens of miles of new trails around Eugene.
Okay.
Hiking is a thing here. I don't know if you were
It is.
aware.
It is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we were able to identify 4 ready-to-go zip codes that need resources, and we can complete or increase or enhance our trail system, which is an amazing trail system. And we're about to build a 3-mile trail next year, and that will connect Spencer Butte to the amazing, gorgeous South Eugene Meadow Park.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's going to be really cool, because
It is.
I mean, Spencer Butte's amazing, but it is, you can really only enjoy part of it. Right.
And so our dream is to connect Mount Pisgah to Fern Ridge Reservoir in one shot.
Wow.
Right. And it's a long game.
Yeah, sure.
Right. I am lurking in the shadows and waiting for private landowners to work with us, and they do. And we just accomplished another transaction to add another parkland into our inventory. People understand that. There's another family who donated an easement so we can put a trail through their property, which is much better than just selling land. Just an easement will suffice. it's very huge in Europe. It's not so acceptable here in the States. But I think we have a way to go, and the first step. There's no shortcuts. The first step is to tell everybody that we deserve an exceptional park system. You need to want it before you're going to have it.
Yeah.
Sure.
You need to badly want it.
How does one go about that?
About wanting it?
About telling it?
Yeah. First of all, this is great. So I appreciate that opportunity. We're having, this is our second year that we have Parks Talk events. We had one last week with an internationally renowned landscape architect that is Eugene resident.
Wow.
Former U of O professor, Kenny Halfand, and he's a EPF board member. And he did a talk about exceptional parks around the globe.
Oh, wow. Sold
the house. New people that we don't know. And now they know the story, and now they know what we do, and now they know. So we're getting in front of more and more groups, and that's part of what we do right now. Just to tell the story, we had one event last year, working with the business community. If we talk about challenges, there you go. About the economic impact of exceptional parks. Why is it good business to invest in exceptional parks from a business point of view? How does that translate into revenue, into value, and all that? And so and we had a great event. We co-hosted it with the chamber, and we talked about this private-public partnership. Because there will never be enough public funding for this vision, right? There's no government, no level of government will do that.
So we have to go private.
We have to go private. We have to go private, and when the private sector comes in, they have concerns. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Mashing my money with government money. I like government. I don't like government.
Absolutely.
And all that. So when you have a poised Parks Foundation in the middle, protecting private investments and increasing accountability, efficiency, that's the role, and that's what we're growing into, this role of being that facilitator. We had another event with the health industry. So the health benefit of parks are, intuitive. It's obvious, but they're measurable. We can see it. We can talk about them forever. What we're doing right now, because of that event, we're working with the leaders of that industry on creating a prescribing parks program, which means that next time you'll go to your primary care, they will prescribe you a prescription that sends you to me.
Wow.
For a program or a guided tour to Spencer Butte. We'll work with you. The primary care will work with you on what's what do you like to do and what's comfortable, right? They won't send you to a fitness station if that's not your thing, but how about a guided tour on Mount Pisgah or Spencer? So
amazing,
right? And then they will check up with you. Did you fulfill the prescription?
That's incredible.
So, that is, I mean, really putting yourself in there, like.
Exactly.
Even if they had no idea before, they go to the doctor, and now the doctor is telling them to go.
And that need to, now I have a prescription. The doctor told me. Now I'm going to look at my park. I want to see if my park is if it's appropriate to what I want to do. So I think about it. Or do I need to drive? And why the heck don't I have a good park here, like the one that with the fitness stations like they have? So that again, increasing that appetite and awareness to we want more here.
Right. So speaking of that hunger, when it comes to wanting those exceptional parks, right? Let's say now that our audience is listening and they're in tune, and now they're able to pay attention to some of these things. Let's say that they're like, okay, my park does need a little bit more. Our park does need this thing and this thing and this thing. How can they make their voice be heard?
Right. So this is a long game. Investing in public infrastructure is not, one and done.
Sure.
So, and we want to be very strategic about how we build momentum and how we build on success. And I would love to hear, from now to the end of time, all the needs of everyone and kind of factor them in. But again, the city is already on it. So they're doing, again, amazing work. They have a roadmap to fill in the gaps and the needs. And we just opened Striker Field to the city. Striker Field, which is amazing, and there are other projects on the go. Santa Clara Community Park, which will be an amazing park, well deserved for the people in Santa Clara. It's just and so there's a plan. So first of all, tune in to and learn more about the plan that is ongoing. And if there are opportunities for us to collaborate with the city or with private stakeholders, then we'll do that, of course. But go on the website and look at our current capital project and see if maybe we're coming close to you where you live.
Definitely. What's the website?
EugeneParksFoundation.org.
Perfect. Perfect.
Don't worry, you guys. You don't have to remember that. We'll put a link in the show notes.
Exactly. Thank you for that.
So, Ariel, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? There's tons of passion behind everything that you've been sharing. Tell us, where did you find that this is what you wanted to do?
14 years old.
Wow.
First time I stepped into my local community center in my neighborhood. And never left until today. That's where all the community recreation and parks. It's structured differently in Israel, but it's the same the same services. So I just grew up in that industry of parks, rec, and community services, youth services, and all the way up to leading agencies for the municipality. And I was fortunate enough, my God, to work in municipalities that really took it to the next level. Yes, some municipalities in Israel that are just the mecca of how do you structure public infrastructure that spirals up the well-being of the community. Wow. In so many ways, and I was blessed to be part of that work. So all that coming here, we moved here in 2018. My wife got accepted to a PhD program.
Wow.
And we're here ever since. And then I just, I saw an ad in the paper. Eugene Parks Foundation looking for their first ever staff person.
Wow.
And I went there and I said, I'm not leaving until you hire me. And that's it.
I mean, that's straight to the point there.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what I know.
Yeah.
I know how to increase the economic impact and the health benefits and the well-being of the community through parks and recreation. Here, it's mostly, Eugene Parks Foundation is really is a fundraising body because we need millions of dollars in infrastructure, and that's what we're focusing on. Some of these projects we'll build ourselves because maybe we can build it better, faster than a public agency.
Yeah.
Some won't make sense, but we need that resource, we need that leverage, so we can impact Eugene's landscape.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your day-to-day, do you go out there and you're a builder as well, or are you a designer? What's your role?
Nothing of the sort. I do not know how to design or even draw a straight line. I do experience that through my girls.
Oh, I love that.
This is just, they teach me how to. Here's a stupid example. Going on a hike with my family is a challenge. There's negotiations. We ended up kind of framing that agreement that is not more than 2 miles, no elevation, and a loop.
Okay.
So we go on a hike, and then next week another hike, and then next week another hike, and they're like, "We've been here." And they're like, "No, I swear to God, it's a new place. This is, And what do you mean? There's a trail, there's a forest, there's a river. We've seen it, right? Everything looks the same, besides Doris Ranch.
Yeah.
Doris Ranch has a tractor right at the beginning of the trail. It has like an old tractor that they play for 2 minutes, not more than 2 minutes, to drive it, stick it, and then we go. And they'll go to Doris Ranch every day because of the tractor.
Interesting.
Amazing.
But they'll fight with me, about any other trail. But Doris Ranch they'll do. So there's something about the way they engage.
Yeah.
Right. So again, this is generational. Old folks just I just want to be out. That's it enough for me.
Yeah.
Right. Today, not so much. We need more levels of engagement,
Right.
or interaction and
Yeah.
experiences, and how do we tell a story? I mean, have you heard about the Narnia trail, right? They took the witch, lion, and the wardrobe story and built a trail with the stories. How do you
I
move from?
I didn't know that. That's cool.
I
Look
hadn't
it up,
heard about
Narnia
it.
story, and Alice in Wonderland. So how do you build
That's smart.
stories and experiences into the trail? Because today's families, they're struggling with, how do you take them out of the screens and
Right.
into the park?
Yeah.
And so it's harder.
Yeah, you're fighting for attention.
Fighting all the time. We want to help them. We want to help with exceptional parks experience.
Wow. What would you rate the majority of our parks right now, as far as like exceptional and not exceptional?
Well, so that's almost not a fair question because because as there's so many municipalities that build like a one designated park, like a riverfront project or something that is spectacular with public funds, but they're now just committed for legacy maintenance for this exceptional parks. They can't expand. But there are municipalities in the States and outside that have a great partnership with this private-public, agency, like a Parks Foundation or Parks Alliance that infuel this new resources to do much more. So I'll tell you this. There is, let's talk about Mythbusters for a second.
Favorite show?
Parks in Eugene are safe, clear, and clean. That's not the public perception.
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Washington Jefferson, right? I mean, we know.
Mhm.
We know.
Yeah.
But that's not the story around the city. Like, you go to where you live, like, look at the park. Safe, clean, well-maintained. Parks are great. We're struggling with an issue, on a national level, trying to solve a national problem with local tools. Good luck with that. But there are, impacted parks, which are downtown area, the Amazon corridor. We know them. Everybody knows them. But that's not the whole story. The bigger story is that our parks are great. We still need to find a way to return these impacted parks back to the community, to the whole community, invite everyone who wants to enjoy the parks, and then keep them safe. That's true for parks. That's true for every sidewalk in Eugene.
Yeah.
And
Right?
you talked a little bit about what helps keep them safe are people.
Yeah.
Are bringing families, are bringing people that are in the community to the parks.
Yep.
And that is what helps in keeping the park safe as well, right?
Yeah, and I always use this example. I mean, if you have like an unlimited budget,
Yeah.
you can choose two things. Either put 2 patrol officers in a park, right? Parks will be fairly safe, clear, clean. Or you can take that money and build an exceptional experience that will draw in 500 people every afternoon that will do the same, but also impact. And so it's how we use that investment. And investing in exceptional parks decreases public safety issues, reduce crime rate. The numbers are there. So what we need to do is this. Now, I'm not trying to oversimplify a very complicated problem that is impacting all of us.
Right.
But, from my perspective, I want to add another approach to the existing one. I feel like there's this survival mode mindset. We have homelessness issue, and we have food insecurity and poverty and housing crisis and childcare crisis. Oh my God! And it can be overwhelming. But regardless, and in spite of that, if we can have a growth mindset, talking about prosperity and abundance, that's we deserve that. Regardless of the issues that needs to be solved, but we deserve more, and that will trickle down and help us disrupt a momentum or a trend, right? Disrupt it and kind of put us on a different trajectory.
Pivot it.
Right? And so I think we need to focus on growth engines. And one of the socioeconomic growth engines, by now, is exceptional park.
Yeah. Right. Wow. We keep coming back to exceptional parks.
I don't know why.
How does that keep happening?
What is an exceptional park here in Eugene right now?
There's a few. I would say I love Amazon. I love Skinner Butte. I love Spencer Butte. I think in that sense, these are my favorite.
Yeah.
And it depends what kind of experience you're looking for. I love Hendricks Park. For me, it's really hit home. But I do feel that there's a lot of work to do, and we are lucky and we are blessed to work with a city that really treasures open space and parks and recreation amenities, and so they are just great partners to work with. And so wherever we can add to what they're doing, we feel honored.
Yeah, cool. What are some of just really outside of the box thinking, as far as like activities that one could bring to one of these parks? We brought the fitness centers. People are now working out, and there's like actual machines that they can use to work out. What are other kind of like the ninja piece is really, really neat.
Yeah.
Other outside of the box?
So I think like on our list right now, we're talking about the ninja course. We're talking about fitness stations, pump track. Pump track is a training, contained training park for BMX and mountain bikes, and it has different elevations and corners and stuff, and it's a great place to practice, fall, crush, and develop your skills before you go up to a mountain, a trail, a mountain.
This is where I should start.
In a previous episode, Ivan shared with our listeners and me for the first time that he's all about getting into mountain bikes. So yeah, pump track.
I heard that episode, and this is why I'm plugging this in. I mean, you should start with it. So pump track is one of them. There'll be. I bet there's like hundreds of people right now jumping up and down, yelling, pickleball.
Lots of people. Yeah.
Build more pickleball. So you got to put that, pickleball on the, and shout out to everybody who's working on putting more pickleball. It's such a fun sport. there's definitely it's not just the amenity, because we're not trying to reinvent outdoor, but it's also about the presentation. We want our sports courts to be fabulous artistically, and there are some amazing designs of how you just put a basketball court, but it looks like hey, we're gonna do it 3-on-3 every day right here. It's just so that kind of design and artistic design into the amenities, the obvious ones, the ones that and the last one is nature based, bringing nature, bringing the wildness into your street, into your neighborhood.
I really like that. I really like that. Not so much concrete, plastic, metal.
Yeah, exactly.
What type of consultants or people do you work with when you are thinking of bringing in nature into some of these parks? Like who? What are those companies or those individuals?
So last week at the talk, Kenny Helfand, the landscape architect, amazing speaker. He went up and he started talking, and in the room, like half of the room was his past students.
Oh, okay.
Half of them work for the city as landscape architects, past or present. And so we have a battery of amazing talents working right now in the city, doing amazing work. And we do have some others in the community. There are some landscape architect firms in the community that I'm eyeing for to work with, because they have this kind of a nature play niche. So more to come on that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you just had an event, which is what you're kind of talking about now. That was just recently, right?
Right.
Do you have anything coming up in the future that the public could get in on?
So we're trying to engage this issue. I mean, there's only so much I can say. Exceptional parks, right? It's gonna get. So we're bringing it from different angles. The next one will be actually like far out. We're partnering with a local wealth management firm in town and a local bank in town, Oregon Pacific Bank. And we're going to do an event about optimizing your wealth and your tax situation, so you'll be in a position to better manage your own wealth for giving it forward to your loved ones or as a charity. So we want people to know how to use that, and we want them to think about parks and public infrastructure as a legacy investment.
I see.
Right? I want them to associate us with their planned giving plan. So that's coming. After that, we're cooking some really nice ones. There'll probably be one on fire mitigation. There's a lot of people here with properties, and the concern in during fire season is just, and so we're trying to bring experts around that on, first of all, just understanding what's going on here year after year and the latest trends on that, and also bring someone from the fire department to kind of. That's what you need to do. Prepare your house, prepare your property, right? And so, but also for us, getting to know these people and having the conversation about, did you know that if you put a gravel trail, a 4-foot gravel trail through your property, that's a great fire break, right? Right. And so when it fits to our plans, I mean, we can talk with them about easements and stuff. But so we have a reason to do that, but I know there's a need of people who really experience that outdoor vastness out there. And there's some other that I can't talk about yet.
Okay. We'll just keep us on the edge of our seat here.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see about that.
Not VIP yet.
No, it's still, the programming is still in the works.
Sure. No spoilers. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Alrighty, everybody. So we're to the part of the show where we get to know our guests a little bit more. So some rapid fire questions. Ariel, here we go.
Let's go.
What was the first concert you ever attended?
You really want to know? Coldplay a few months ago in Seattle.
Wow.
What an amazing first concert too.
Oh my God! It was. I'm not a big crowd person.
Mhm.
I like my Spotify music one-on-one. But I have two on my bucket list. Coldplay was one of them, and then the other one is U2.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Other than that,
yeah.
don't bother sending me tickets. I will see at home.
Well, I mean, that makes it pretty simple for our listeners, right? So if you got any extra tickets to U2, I mean,
That's it.
there we go.
Sit right over here.
Simple man. Simple man.
Yeah.
What was the first job you ever got?
Cleaning chimneys.
Cleaning chimneys.
Yeah. Cleaning chimneys. It was a summer job. There's not a lot of chimneys in Israel. It's not a wintry.
Right.
But there are some upscale houses that pretend to have a working whatever. And there's one guy that is fixing and building them, and then there's one guy who's cleaning the
them.
chimney.
Sounds like a monopoly.
It's exactly.
You can charge whatever you want.
But,
Yeah, right.
yeah, I didn't see half of that. Like what a few months of that. Yeah,
Mountains or beaches?
mountains,
Day or night?
afternoon.
What is your most used emoji when you're texting?
I don't. I mean, I use one. I use one that I should not talk about here. I use the finger.
We all use that one.
That's
Yeah.
my most common.
I use the finger. Usually, if I text you and you don't answer, I'll just send you like. But that's the only. My fear is that emojis damage our conversation skills. So I'm trying
agreed.
to do my part in say the word.
Favorite subject to study?
Philosophy.
Any books or podcasts that you're currently reading?
I just heard all of your podcasts this
yeah.
morning.
Okay.
Enjoyed it so much.
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, I love what you do.
Thank you.
There's a book by a stand-up comedian in Israel, so I'm reading his book about his life. Funny as hell. But it's really hard with three girls. It's really hard to have that silent space in your head for a
Absolutely.
book. And when they're when they're in bed, I'm already cooked. So it was usually
I totally feel you there.
So
All right. Hidden gems in Eugene. I know you're talking about the parks. You know a lot of parks. Your favorite park, your favorite trail, your favorite restaurant.
so easy.
I know it.
I'm gonna be very specific.
Oh.
The Italian beef sandwich at Scribbles on 11 and Monroe.
Oh, there you have it, folks.
That's it. Go ask for
Okay.
that. Thank me later.
Now, I have been there, and I love Scribbles. That place has amazing sandwiches.
Talking about gem, a real gem.
Yes, and I feel like it is kind of hidden in a way.
Right?
You know?
I've
Right?
never had it, so
Oh, you got to go.
I've never had it.
Yeah.
I'll ask for the
Yeah,
sandwich.
the Italian beef sandwich.
Italian beef
beef.
sandwich.
It's kind of and it's not like the soup Nazi, but it's kind of you need to hit the right day because they don't have that one. So I usually call before and like, will you have? So
That's when you know that's a hidden gem.
No
Yeah.
joke.
Right there.
you need to be intentional about the Italian beef sandwich. Shout out to Scribbles.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Amazing.
Scribbles.
Well, we can't wait to be having some of those sandwiches on our next episode. So that sounds great.
Exactly.
Next sponsor.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Everything in moderation.
Oof.
Everything
Mm-hmm.
in moderation.
Do you have any hidden talents?
I talk. I love to talk. I'm good at talking.
Yeah.
We have a interesting insurance policy in Israel called loss of ability to work. You pay $10 a month. And if something happens, you can you have your. So I took it. I bought it. And I went to my mother and I said it was 20 years ago. I said, "Hey, Mom, you'll be happy." I did that thing because my mom was always about protect your benefits, have like be insured.
Yeah.
And she's like, why? And I said, what do you mean, why? I mean, you were supposed to be happy. I mean, I'm caring for myself. And like, the only reason you lose your ability to work is if someone cut off your tongue. And that's not going to happen. So I guess, I mean, that's like talking.
Yeah.
Talking. And I think, nonprofit in particular, it's about storytelling, right? It's about storytelling. It's about how you, I don't need people to help Eugene Parks Foundation. I want to help them have an exceptional park where they're like, how can we help you? I want to help you. Tell me what your legacy is. Tell me how you want to spend your wealth on infrastructure and what's the vision, and let me partner with you. We'll help you do that. And we're not here for ourselves. We're here to really give you that quality of life that you're looking for. And what does it mean to you?
Well, I think that's a great segue to if you have a message or something that you want to let Eugenians know.
So, thank you. I appreciate that question. We are in this position right now to grow and have that leverage if we can have the individuals and the corporate ear, and if they understand what the impact is and what we're trying to do here, I want to buy them coffee and talk about that. We are looking for exceptional board members that are in a position to have that connection into the business community and into the in the community and be able to help us tell that story over and over and over again to more audience. So that's my call to action. If you're one of those.
Awesome. Well, you heard it, folks. We'll make sure that information is in the show notes. So
thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us here today, Ariel. Eugene, thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.
This episode of the Eugene Morning Hustle podcast was brought to you by the Eugene Area Chamber of Commerce and sponsored by Ivan Torres of Business Block Studios and Brandon Miller Voiceover. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel where you get your podcasts and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn to stay in the know. If you have any questions, topics, or guests you'd like us to dive into, send us a voice message on the Eugene Chamber Instagram page, and we'll feature you and your question on a future episode. Or shoot us an email at podcast@eugenechamber.com. Till next time, Eugene.